They say when an ex comes back into your life, check on Mercury because that might be retrograding. He's not my ex, I wish, but he's definitely a heartthrob who's made a solid comeback. I'm talking about the girls who went weak in their knees with a song called Musu Musu Hasi in the late 90s. And if you're one of them, just like me, this interview is just for us, guys. Of course, there's an entire Gen Z who is going crazy over Salad in the newly launched Royals on Netflix. I'm talking about the one and only Dino Morea, and I'm going to be joined by him at the wonderful Monkey Bar for this conversation. Let's go.
Even though Royals won, was the introduction of...
1 second, you just said Royals 1, guys. There is a Royals 2. Yes. Okay, great.
Okay. And everyone in that film was doing their job for the first time. While she eats, I will talk. But I play a lot of sport. I like dipping my stuff in coffee though, you know. This is how
Thank you for doing this. It wasn't PR moves.
No. There was no PR at that time. Yeah. We didn't do PR.
It was PR.
It was PR.
What can you tell us about Housefull 5?
Oh, Housefull 5 is
Listen, most good-looking thing on that poster, yeah?
I love you.
Keep those dimples, Dino. I mean, yeah, just keep them forever. I know you.
I will. I'm not going to get rid of them.
Are you going to tell us how old you are, or should we just Wikipedia?
No, I'm 40.
Tell us a model hack, yeah. What
I never had a... When I was modeling, I was eating everything.
No.
Oh, I was eating gulab jamuns and rasmalai. We go to hotels and you have breakfast buffet. I'd have cornflakes and eggs and scrambled egg, and fruits and pancakes. And, yeah, when you get a buffet, you want to eat everything.
It's just like us, guys.
I'm a very white t-shirt, jeans kind of character. But if I had to go out for events, functions, suits, Indian wear, so on and so forth, that's me. Yeah. Very classic. Few friends I remember were the Woodham family, Suzanne, Deanne, Allison, Preeti Zinta, and then I met Bipasha thereafter. But these were my first few Kelly Dorji, few friends of Mumbai. If you stop asking this question, people will not bother. So stop asking this question because it doesn't make sense.
We got the salad and we got the dressing. Dino Morea is on Just Too Filmy. Oh my God. Hello.
Thank you for having me. I am the salad and the dressing. Why not?
This is amazing. Wow. Okay, so we saw you in a full-length series on Netflix recently.
Yes.
And I just said on my intro piece that this is for the girlies who have probably lost their hearts to you during Musu Musu Hasi.
Right.
And now as salad. Like a shout out for those girls first, Dino.
Hello, ladies. How are you? And thank you for being my well-wisher. Let's say well-wisher for the longest time. I do appreciate it. And you will continue to see more of me.
That's so lovely. More, huh?
More.
Oh, that's good. That's amazing. So we've got that.
Either in salad form or in real form, but whichever form you will see me.
This is awesome. This is awesome. It's been a good time. I think Stardom was when I kind of felt that we're going to get lots more of Dino.
Right.
And then, of course, that show had its own sort of destiny.
Yes.
But now with Royals and more recently an outing in the cinemas as well, would you look at this phase as the comeback of Dino Morea? Because people hate the word comeback.
I hate the word comeback.
Don't you?
I'm not gone anywhere.
Exactly.
I would just say that maybe my stars are realigning. I do believe, initially I never used to believe it, that luck plays an important part. But it does, in fact, you know, because we all, as artists working in the industry, make as much effort.
Yeah.
Some even more, some less, but we all make and truly make an effort. Some stars are aligned and they shoot up far sooner than the others.
Yes.
Some take time. So there are various
levels
of luck. No luck, no luck. It's cyclical. And I feel my stars are aligning again. And this time, I am so prepared. When it happened to me first, when I got my first film and when I got Raaz and my third, my fourth, and my fifth, I wasn't really aware of the industry. I came in unknowing.
Yeah.
And I was learning and finding my feet on the way. And now I know so much more. And I was not really guided well.
Mm,
But that's my
mm.
learning, right?
Yes, yes.
I had no one to instruct me as to what to do, or rather, the instructions on what to do were not, if I look back in hindsight, were not great at all. So we all make mistakes, but we
Mistakes,
learn
yeah.
from those mistakes, and I've
Right.
learned a lot from my mistakes. Hence, I did take time off to say no to films because I didn't think they were great for me. They would only dig my grave further
Mhm.
and make my career go far south than it already had. So it was a decision to say, let me sit back and see what was happening. And that's when I disappeared.
Yeah.
It was because the work that was coming was rubbish, was terrible. And I didn't want to be associated. So hence I wasn't then getting many offers.
Correct.
I started pushing myself actively again
Yeah.
and saying, hey, listen, I'm far prepared this time. I'm far more prepared. I know I'm fantastic. I know that. I'm confident. And like I said, now I just feel my stars are aligning themselves again, and more opportunities are coming, better opportunities. And this time I will, hopefully, if everything goes well, smash it hard.
Smash it, baby. Smash
Yeah,
it. Can we
yeah.
have a coffee, please?
Yeah,
Thank you.
we need the coffee.
That's such good timing. Sir, are you?
Absolutely. See, it's very good.
This is very,
It's
very
like
good.
it.
We can to go to Cannes yet, but to come.
I was
can you come
supposed to go
us?
to Cannes, but I didn't go.
Oh no!
But not for any film. I just wanted to.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
want to
I've been-
hang out at the French Riviera and get that sun. Actually,
Yeah, I was in Goa for 2 weeks getting sun. I was shooting.
I know
for
you were
4
shooting. I
months,
know. Manvi's a really close friend,
Oh,
and
okay.
Rongita is a friend too.
Oh, really?
So I
Okay.
knew you were there, and that's why when you said 19th, I said, okay, that's when you come
Yeah.
back. But I must say that the Royals was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Oh my God, how fun was it being there? Because I just feel like this set seemed like a riot.
It was. Every time I went and shot, even though Royals 1 was the introduction of.
1 second, you just said Royals 1, guys. There is a Royals 2. Yes. Okay, great.
Okay.
Woo. Okay, he's given up.
I'm always hoping
We
for
all
Royals
know
2.
it because we saw this show. There's a cliffhanger.
There is a
we know
cliffhanger.
it. Yeah.
So there has to be a Royals 2, and Royals 1 has done tremendously well. Royals 1 was the introduction of Salahuddin, salad, and as you saw, but the promise of a fantastic salad in Royals 2 is what's making me very excited.
Amazing.
So let's see what's written in for Royals 2. But having said that, while I was shooting with everybody on the set, it was great. It was fantastic. It was beautiful. It's a different show, and the character I'm playing, particularly, is just so much like me. He's fun, and to be someone so vibrant and flamboyant and fun is something I know I can do easily.
Yes.
Right. So that pretty much came easy, and I had a great time shooting with Bhumi and Ishan, and I unfortunately didn't get a chance to shoot with
Zina Ji.
but I obviously met her on many occasions, which was wonderful. But everybody else it was fun.
Yeah, it looked like a fun
and the costumes,
set.
my God.
And the costumes, I
Yeah.
just felt, but it takes a lot. I mean, maybe because you're a model or you've been a model,
Right.
you are not afraid of clothes, okay? But there are the typical Indian man or the average Indian man would think twice about masquerading or preening. What do you have to say about that? Because I just feel like it takes a lot to be secure and wear flamboyant clothes. And I think a lot of people get flack-footed as well. Like Ranveer has gotten flack for it many times. But what do you make of that?
I wouldn't say it's flack, it's attention. You'll hate it or you'll like it, but you get the attention, right? So if you're looking for attention, do what you want. People will hate it, they will like it, but you get your attention. Right? Who cares what people think? You do what you want to do.
Correct.
And I believe that. I mean, if I'm playing a character which is flamboyant, I'll wear what's needed of that character. I really wouldn't, as long as it looks cool and looks nice and stands out. On a daily basis, if you ask me to wear pink feathers and so on and so forth, I wouldn't, right?
Exactly.
I wouldn't. I'm a very white t-shirt, jeans kind of character.
Yes.
Okay, that's me on any normal day. If I had to go out, if I had to go out for events, functions, suits, Indian wear, so on and so forth, that's me.
Yeah.
Very classic.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
in how I turn myself out. But having said that, if somebody said, hey, come and wear something flamboyant and vibrant, I wouldn't have a problem.
I
wouldn't have a problem. I know clothes look good on me.
Yes,
right?
yes,
And
yes.
I really wouldn't have a problem with that.
But you guys were like the OGs, man. Like today is the era of the influencer, right?
Yes.
But I know that I grew up watching Dino on the Bombay Times,
Yeah.
in those, and they were not parties. They were literally like post work. They would
Yeah.
get photographed because there would be fashion shows.
Yes.
Take me back to the Bombay of that time, Dino, because I was in college and
Yeah.
I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
It was so sexy and it was so dignified at the same time.
It was respectful. It
Yeah.
was sexy. There was no social media. So the only thing people saw of us was either on TV,
Or page
on a news
three.
channel, or page 3.
Page 3, my
or
God.
entertainment.
Yeah.
And we were there because at that time, modeling was just this new, fantastic industry. And fortunately, me and a few of my colleagues were sort of termed the supermodels.
Yeah.
Which I liked. I
Of
won't
course.
deny it was fantastic at that point. So everywhere we went, every show we did, every ad we did, people, they adored us. And that was great. It made us put us on a bit of a pedestal, I must say.
Correct.
And it felt good, but it was so nice and dignified and respectful and fun. We had so much fun. That was the good part. We had fun. You have your shares and ups and downs then too, but it was great. So those times, Bombay, Delhi for that matter, every city that we went to was spectacular.
It was amazing. And I think all of you were the OGs, right? Like when it comes to modeling or even the first batch of VJs also.
Yeah.
Like Malaika was one who did both because she would be a model and then she'd do the couch on Loveline. Yeah. And I just feel like that MTV Channel V time was so
that was,
cool.
There was sort of a coming of age of Indian TV also. Because channels were opening up.
Were booming, yeah.
And everyone was glued to their TVs. You had so many channels. Before that, there was only Doordarshan.
Yes.
And then there was suddenly an influx of music and everything and all your movies. So it was booming. So anyone who wanted to see what's happening in the music scene would MTV and Channel V.
Yes.
And if you wanted your TV serials and your movies. So it was a great time for us.
It was a great time.
In terms of the exposure we got was phenomenal. And that's why people still know me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Today, a lot of people, recognize and know. Yes, you're right. Influencers today it's a different game altogether. But what we had then, purely only through newspapers, the kind of exposure we had, we were bigger or as big as some of the cricketers at that time, or the film stars at that time. We were on par.
Yeah.
And that's how good it was. So the feeling was of just thorough, absolute excitement. And that's how I got my first film.
Yes.
Because I was noticed through the modeling
situation. Of course.
It progressed into Pyar Mein Kabhi Kabhi.
I watched Pyar Mein Kabhi Kabhi first day, first show, Satyam Cinema in Worli. This is 99, which just finished. I was in my 10th class, I remember. And the promise was that if you do your exams well, then you go and watch Dino Morea. And I was one of those.
Okay.
So, oh my God, like how nostalgic was that? And it was because there is parts of Worli Sea Face in the film where you guys shot.
We shot
and this theatre was very close to Worli. It was just lovely because then after the film, we went and hung out at the Sea Face.
Yeah.
So it means so much to that, that time, right?
And for me, it's nostalgia.
Yeah. But one second, I have to say this before we talk about anything more.
Yeah.
For somebody who made his debut in 99 in the movies, we're in 2025, guys.
Yeah.
It's a whole freaking 25 years later.
Yeah.
How old are you now first? And how do you look like this? Tell us.
Is it good?
It's great. No, seriously. Well, it makes, it's inspiring.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I take care of myself.
Yeah.
I take care of myself. I've always been healthy, so to speak.
Correct.
Happy, trying to. We have our little stresses and our ups and downs and our heartbreaks every now and then.
Yeah.
But that's life. And the quicker you realize it and understand it and move on, it's good for you and good for your soul. And if you just be happy, if you exude a happy energy, be nice to everybody, be nice to people, life's not that bad. Don't take yourself so seriously.
Absolutely.
And I think these are the few things which I really believe in and I imbibe in my life. But mostly it's healthy living. And when I say healthy living, I eat everything, please.
Okay.
People say, oh, you're on this
Yeah,
diet.
we're looking at these palmiers and we're like, we're going to eat them, guys.
We're going to eat them. So I eat everything. But it's just that I exercise and I play a lot of sport. While she eats, I will talk. But I play a lot of sport. I like dipping my stuff in coffee.
Me too, actually.
So, this is how
Thank you for doing this because I thought it'll be very Irani chai, but
no.
Thanks.
No, I love doing that, dipping in coffee. So I eat just about everything. But I have this habit ever since a kid, playing a sport or working out, because I've always been very competitive in sports. And that keeps me going.
Yeah.
That keeps me going. And I'm shaved today. So that's why I
That's
feel like,
why-
oh, what happened? You know,
oh.
I grow the beard and then okay, that's Dino. But when I shave, like, oh shit, yeah, me kabhi kabhi. I'm like, yeah.
Oh God, oh God, oh God. It was a heady time. I remember that
Yeah.
entire time, 99 until the late 2000s. I mean, you would just want a piece. People wanted a piece of you at that point. And it's so amazing that here we are and, you know, we're in that same place again.
Yeah.
But let's take you back to 99 when that film launched.
Yeah.
What was it like? Did you actually, what was going on in your head at that point?
You know, it was that release and the kind of adulation we got at that time was phenomenal. I remember doing a premiere in Calcutta, doing a premiere in Delhi. We did one in Bangalore and one in Mumbai. I didn't expect people to show up the way they showed up. I walked out of the cinema in Calcutta. I remember my jacket being ripped. Denim jacket being ripped because people were going nuts. And it was also more so because Musu Musu Hasi, the song, Northeast.
Of course.
People loved it. Delhi was insane. Bangalore, because it's my hometown.
Yeah.
People went nuts. So I was in shock. And then I understood the reach of cinema.
Yes.
Modeling was one thing, we were already popular, but the reach of songs in cinema was another level. That's when I understood the power of cinema, the soft power it has. It's just insane. And even when I did agree to do this film, I wasn't sure if films is what I want to do. I really wasn't sure. I didn't know what my next steps were, but then my then director Raj Kaushal, his soul rest in peace. Yes. He's not here anymore. But he convinced me. He said, do it. And I was like, okay, let's just do it. And I just did it, not knowing what it would lead to. But what I saw it led to was fantastic. And I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the process of being in front of the camera, acting, dancing, and doing whatever it is to be part of the film. And everyone in that film was doing their job for the first time.
First time, you, Sanjay, Rinki,
not only the actors, the cinematographer, first film, the producer, first film, the director, first film, Vishal Shekhar.
Vishal Shekhar, of
their
course.
First album.
Yes.
Right? So everybody who was part of that movie was a first timer. And that's what made it even more special. Everyone was hungry for work.
Yes.
And it made it so much more special. So that was just a memorable experience. It was beautiful.
I also feel it was a freer time. I think you guys were, like, as I keep saying, the OGs, right? Like, whether it was modeling, whether it was international contracts. I remember when you snagged an international contract, and it wasn't every day that you'd have, guys from our country going and doing work outside. I think you guys were, movie stars weren't as cool because you guys could actually talk about being in relationships.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, we were covered so much for being in a relationship.
For being in a relationship. And it was all organic because I'm sure at that time it wasn't PR moves.
No, there was no PR at that time. Yeah. We didn't do PR.
It was PR.
It was PR. That's it. We didn't call photographers to come and stand and wait and take our pictures. None of that happened. Right? Yeah. It was just organic. People would see us out. Somebody would get a picture, and then the next thing you know, you're in the news.
Yeah.
You're in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Or so-and-so's having lunch with so-and-so.
Correct.
Or here's a picture of somebody dancing. Correct. Somebody took a picture, they found a picture, put it in the newspaper.
Correct.
Or if it was modeling, then there were lots of pictures. So, it was just very organic. It was not set up. Yeah. And it was great. I think that was the beauty of it, right?
So true.
There was no stress, there was no pressure at that point. Also, we're all young and having just the best time.
Yeah, and which is why I think that was the difference between other actors of the time as well.
Right.
Because you guys coming into the movies was also cool because we were like, hey man, I like this guy without him having done a film, right? Yeah. And then there was this following. And I remember that was also a time when music chased you.
Mm-hmm.
Dino Morea and music.
I had great music.
Yeah.
I had great music in all my films. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I think Bhushan at that point from T-Series or someone from his thing mentioned that, the music that I have in my films was outstanding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether it was Raaz, Pyar Mein Kabhi Kabhi, Guna, Ishq Hai Tumse, Plan had some fab music, Aksar,
Aksar, my God.
huge music.
Absolutely.
So a lot of the movies I was associated with were just fantastic
Yeah.
in terms of songs. So, I mean, even when they play back now, people remember.
But my point is that you were never, okay, the show's called Just Too Filmy, but you were never filmy. How does a non-filmy boy, okay, navigate a filmy world? What did you find new, or what did you
Well,
find
To be
different?
honest, I didn't know what was filmy and what was not filmy. I come from Bangalore. I grew up like any normal kid. I was school and college and played all sports, and I was only into sports
Yeah.
at that point. Modeling happened, so I had no association at all with the film industry. I did watch a lot of movies when I was growing up. I watched all the Hindi films that came on Doordarshan and then TV later. I go to cinemas and watch movies. I used to watch a lot of English movies. And I would always dream, though, that, hey, I'd love to be on screen. But I didn't know it would transform in this way so suddenly. Because when I got offered my first film, I wasn't sure this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right? So I didn't know what the term filmy meant, be filmy. And even lots of my colleagues who I interacted with later, who are part of the film industry, part of big film families, none of them were, when I meet them in person, were
Filmy.
I didn't understand what the term was because they're all cool and very normal. It's just that they come from a film family.
Correct.
So you presume they're filmy.
Correct.
None of that. I didn't experience, everyone I met, and I've met everybody in the film industry, from big film families, big actors, so on and so forth. And it's just so nice. And it is actually a fun industry.
Yeah.
It's a great space. I loved it. The more I met more people, the more I interacted with more people, it was just such a joy to be in that energy, in that fun, whether it was, award events like IFA, where we all just traveled together.
Yeah.
It was great, hanging out with Mr. Bachchan in his room, having a chat, Abhishek and Ritik. It was just great.
Yeah.
At that time.
And they're all Jew Bandra boys. Mostly.
Yeah.
So they all grew up in this city.
Yeah.
They probably had something to share with you. And I don't know, I'm assuming you went on to be a maverick restaurateur.
Yeah,
and then you gave us
that
some
was
of
my
our...
brother. That was my brother who did. I just helped in making it and pushing it and everything. Yes.
Yes. I just think that you guys also, as a family, kind of brought like a certain cool to this place where we're sitting at today. And it's so cool that we're doing this interview in Bandra.
Yeah.
Because Bandra's most iconic spots had something to do with, the Moreas.
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it all adds up. Like,
somehow, because I don't want to sound too profound, but somehow I feel the universe sort of creates where you are and it gives you a path, right? And you just discover and you go along. And I've been doing that for the longest time. I've been just following and seeing if this happens, I go with it. If that happens, I go with it. And I move in those directions. Have I ever really planned and sat down and planned? Not really. People ask me, what were you thinking when you were in college? What do you want to do? During my college, I started modeling and I started earning money. And I was like, okay, I need to earn money because that for me is important. And I started earning, and then I left college and I was trying to do distance education. And I just followed opportunities that came my way. Did I make a plan? No. Did I want to be this engineer, that doctor? No, I wasn't thinking of it. And everything happened and I followed that path.
For a boy who turned up or rocked up from Bangalore,
yes,
you did pretty okay.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah,
I did pretty fantastic for someone who just turned up from Bangalore.
This is, at some level, the dream, right? Like you come to a city that you don't know anybody.
Yeah, I came to Mumbai and I knew nobody. I remember I took Udyan Express.
Yes.
There was a train from Bangalore. Landed at Dadar station, reached Dadar station.
Yeah.
Got into a cab and drove to Peter Dyer's Road, Bandra, where I had a friend from Bangalore. She used to model here, Shaila Lopez.
Of course.
And Shaila had an apartment. She said, come share it. And I know her from Bangalore.
Oh, sweet.
And I said, that's really sweet of you. Thank you. Go into this really tiny place. And I'm like, okay, this is the apartment. But that's how my life started in Bombay.
Amazing.
It started like this. I met people. I met more people. Made friends. My first few friends, I remember, were the Woodham family, Suzanne, Deanne, Allison, Preeti Zinta. And then I met Bipasha thereafter. But these were my first few,
friends,
Kelly Dorji. few friends
Yes,
of
of
Mumbai.
course.
Yeah, and then I made my way.
Wow. This is so nostalgic. This is
Mhm.
for everybody who knows that this entire bunch of like people who came to a different city, like Kelly Dodgy, I think what an inspiring story. Lara Datta, what an inspiring story.
Yeah, another
Oh,
Bangalore friend of mine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Vipasha, what an inspiring story. I just think that it takes something to leave your city, come to another city, and then, make something of yourself.
It
It's
takes
pretty
guts.
amazing.
It
takes
takes guts. It takes a lot of courage, I must say. But you can do it. It's not impossible. Like, you have a dream, and if you're willing to work hard, nothing is impossible. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
And I think I'm an example of just dreaming it, wanting it, and following up.
What did Raaz give you when you look back? Because I love it when you do an interview after a little while, because I think time is the best thing ever. You look back and you're like, oh my God, I'm glad I did that film.
Yeah.
What did Raaz do for you personally?
Raaz sort of cemented my foothold in the film industry. People would say, okay, that's a huge success. He's kind of arrived. And that gave me a lot more confidence to go out and now figure my life out in the film industry.
It was a phenomenon. The songs. So I was in the radio when that soundtrack dropped, and I remember the amount of requests. There was just something about that soundtrack that just cut through. Also, today we're sitting in the era of like horror, right?
Yeah.
Where horror comedy is a genre.
And
but
everyone compares it to Raaz.
And at that point, it was a horror film that suddenly brought respect to horror, don't you think?
Yeah, because before that, there was nothing really good in terms of horror.
It was camp. It was the Ramses.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
And now it was storytelling. There was romance, but with romance there was these thrills and these fantastic moments, right? But it was primarily a love story.
Yeah.
Right? And about the wife forgiving the husband and taking him back, but fighting evil.
Yeah.
And the evil was the supernatural. So that resonated with Indian audiences all over India. Right? I mean, people watched it from Ranchi to, anywhere in the USA. I keep saying from Manhattan to Mumbai, everyone watched it. Right? So that movie sort of set me up properly in the industry. And I'm so grateful to Mukesh ji and Mahesh Bhatt for that opportunity.
Yeah.
So, and personally, I felt great, and I felt, wow. Suddenly everyone from the film industry, the bigger stars, my fellow actors, my colleagues were all congratulating and welcoming me. So, people, it's different.
Of course.
You got a huge hit, and so you appreciate it.
You see the difference, right?
Oh, I see it. I see everything. I don't miss a thing.
You don't miss
I don't miss a thing.
You're Sagittarius?
I am Sagittarius.
You're still Sagittarius?
Still I am.
So am I. So I know that we have this crazy sunny optimism, right? About ourselves. And we look at life much kinder than most people because we're very forgiving. But my question is that when you kind of look back, I remember that one of the biggest criticisms towards models at that time, now of course it's the Nepo baby debate, but at that time it was, models can't act. Models can't act. Did that line ever pierce something in you? Did you ever care about it? Did you have to work harder just to prove that wrong?
No, I mean, I just knew I just had to go in and work hard, right? I didn't really care about that line. So when I was asked that question when I was doing my first few films, I'd say, this is just some fabricated line. If you stop asking this question, people will not bother.
Yeah.
So stop asking this question because it doesn't make sense.
Correct.
Right? So somebody threw it in, and then it just stuck. Models can't act. And models have come in and proven themselves.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Some of our biggest actors today, and we're sitting, of course, with a little bit of time and distance again.
Yeah.
Deepika Padukone was a model. Bangalore.
Anushka.
Model. Anushka was a model. Bangalore again.
Everyone. Yeah, all of them all come from Bangalore. Yeah. Hey, Bangalore.
Hey, Bangalore.
Don't forget Bangalore number uru.
Yes, absolutely.
So it didn't bother me. I try not to get fazed by silly stuff. Sometimes it irks you, it irritates you, but I try not to get fazed by it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about Housefull 5?
Oh, Housefull 5 is...
Listen, most good-looking thing on that poster, yeah?
I love you.
Give me a vibe.
You're
because
kind,
there's so many of them. Okay, there's everybody there. Okay?
Everybody is in this film.
What is it like?
It's Housefull.
Housefull,
It's genuinely Housefull with everyone. I mean, as we got to know who were coming in, I'm like, what's going on here?
Of course.
Sajid Nadiadwala has hit this out of the park with the cast.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
he's knocked it out. Like,
Absolutely.
It's bigger than any ensemble cast I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
You know, in my opinion, the biggest in the film industry.
It's like Avengers assemble into 5.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, everyone's trying to put together all these films with different actors and different characters here in one film. Housefull.
Puri industry aa gayi
industry
dosto.
sab hai, sab ke sab hai. Nana ji, from Nana Patekar to Sanju to Sanju sir to Jackie Shroff to, actually, I mean, everybody is in it. But Tarun, my director, Mansukani, in my opinion, has managed to pull off a really nice, wholesome comedy.
Amazing. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
It's coming very soon, guys.
6th June.
6th June.
6th
It's
June,
very, very soon. How much can you tell us about what's coming up? Because we want to end on that.
So I've got Housefull 5, which is coming out. I've done a small bit in Rana Naidu. And I'm shooting for 4 more shots, season 4.
Wow. That's a bit. That's a fair bit.
Yeah. I've got, so this year is going to be fab, from Royals to Housefull to Rana to 4 more shots. 4 more shots should be out in December. And I'm just reading some other stuff right now. I'm also pitching some stuff to produce. Hopefully, if something gets greenlit, we'll make it by this year or start shooting this year. So this is in the process, and reading more scripts and seeing what other opportunities come my way. I'm pushing myself, and the stars are just sort of coming into that line, into that alignment, and luck's favoring me.
Luck is favoring you.
I just hope it continues.
Yeah, I hope it continues too. We want to see more of you.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, more salad, more dressing.
Yes, so season 2, once it's written, then I'll be starting.
Inshallah,
that.
absolutely.
They're going to do it for sure.
Yeah.
The show's done really well. I think it's number 3 on Netflix worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah. I saw that, yeah.
So they will definitely make a season 2.
Amazing.
So I'm looking forward to that too. And any other movies that come my way, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Keep those dimples, Dino. I mean, just keep them forever. I know you
I will. I'm not going to get rid of them.
And before we go, are you going to tell us how old you are? Or should we just Wikipedia?
No, I'm 49.
For everyone who's 49 right now, I just want to say goals.
I don't look it.
# goals chal rahe hain Dino
You know,
Morea ke.
and to everyone listening, it's just a number. I honestly am saying it's just numbers. How you feel inside and how you take care of yourself, that really determines your age. It's got nothing to do with the number of years. But that line is so good. It's not how you spend, it's not how many years you spend, but how you spend those years.
I completely agree.
That's important. And how you spend the rest of it. Because as you get older, if you don't look at numbers, you feel it in your body. And that's the only way you know that maybe you're getting too tired too soon. That's when you know. But that's about it. There's nothing else. Everything else is a number in your head. Don't pay attention to those numbers.
So eat well and work out.
And exercise. Longevity is what? Just being happy, eating well.
Seriously.
Eating well, movement every day, that kind of stuff. It's simple. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
And today, I guess, also people are developing so many newer ways, hacks, to try and be healthier, to try and feel good, to look good. And I feel longevity is going to be increasing with the way people are looking at things.
I have a new hack, guys. It's a pineapple cucumber salad, apparently. Did models ever do that? Eat pineapple cucumber salad? Tell us a model hack, yeah. What was your hack?
I never had a... When I was modeling, I was eating everything.
No.
Oh, I was eating gulab jamuns and rasmalai. We go to hotels and you have breakfast buffet. I'd have cornflakes and eggs and scrambled egg and fruits and pancakes. And, when you get a buffet, you want to eat everything.
It's just like us, guys.
Come
it's
on.
Just like us.
You got no money at that point. You're earning a little bit, and then there's a breakfast buffet in a hotel.
Correct.
Everything. And then you take some to your room also.
He's just like us.
We're the same.
Yeah.
We're the same.
And there is always discourse with good-looking people that, and with the industry, we love to say, right? He's on Ozempic, he's on this, and he's on Botox.
Everyone's going to say something or the other. Do they actually know you? Do they actually know the truth? No. Until I come out and say something. I can say 100 things about anybody. Does it make it the truth? No. We can jump to conclusions. So who gives a shit?
Yeah, but eat well and exercise.
Just eat well, exercise, be happy. Have a lot of friends.
That's true.
Go out. meet people, you know, because being social
Yes.
is very important again for longevity.
I
So,
agree.
movement, food, being social, simple stuff in life. You
How
know,
lovely. How
try not to
lovely.
be depressed. Try not to be anxious. Easier said than done because
Yeah. We're
today's
living in crazy times. Yeah.
we are, but you just have to somehow detach. You know, try and have a clear head, more presence of mind. It's not easy. It's a tough world we live in. It's a really tough world we live in. Even times now, I feel like, oh, you know what's happening. But you got to take a step back, take a deep breath,
Take a deep breath
and figure it out.
and relax.
Yeah.
This is amazing. It's okay, now I can be myself, which is not the interviewer, just the fan.
Yeah.
If someone would have told me in 99 that I would have sat down with Dino Morea and had, coffee, palmiers, I wouldn't have believed my life. But it means a lot. So honestly, thank you so much
It's my pleasure,
for making the
seriously.
time.
No,
Yeah.
my pleasure to
Yeah.
be here, and thank you for having me in
Thank
and
you.
asking me these questions and me narrating my life,
Yeah.
or half of it, a bit of it.
A bit of
rather.
it. A bit of it. Yeah.
A teeny weeny tidbit of it.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much. Hey guys, this is me, Dino Morea. I was with Rotox and we had a really fun chat. So subscribe to the channel and hear more.